Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. I got a question, y'all. Our youth. How do we look at our youth when we see it? How can I say this? You know, you got kids, they don't know anything. They're as an adult, we are here to teach them, right? To show them a better way, positive way of living. Because as we always said, a lot of us say, I don't want these kids to learn lessons the way I had to, or the way I did, or what I chose. I teach them from my mistakes so when they come up, they won't make the same mistakes. Because we know as people, you're going to make choices that aren't right. You're just going to do it. You're going to make mistakes, and you always have to suffer the consequences of the choices that you make, good or bad, right? What we should want for the youth is that the choices that they make, they can live through and be able to tell the story to the next generation. Be what they call a living testimony, as the song would say, as to what not to do and then what you should do in order, to become a better person. It's always a learning experience. So we get out here and we coach the kids. Now, in my years past, I coached basketball, softball, soccer. I've coached, three sports, a few years back. And you do it because I do it because I enjoy teaching. Teaching kids, I enjoy seeing kids learn a skill, making them better at whatever the case, whatever that may be. If I can teach you anything and you can learn it and apply it, that makes me feel good. You don't have to nobody owes me anything. You got to pay me back. If you want to pay me back, the best way to do that is to use anything that I've taught you to better your life and hopefully better the lives of other people. That's all I look for. To me, that's how a true man should live. True man should not. A real man doesn't want, a bunch of accolades. Don't need it. If they come, that's fine. But I don't need it. Don't need it to survive. It's just keep it, pay it forward. That's the way you say it. So like I said, you teach and like I said, you coach these kids, and coaching is not easy. Coaching and refereeing, I've seen it, it's not easy. You got crazy coaches that'll come after the refs. You got fans, parents. Let's just talk about the parents. You got parents that'll come after the coaches, that'll come after the referees. It's volunteering, and you're volunteering. And it's a thankless job. Nobody's getting paid for this. All they're doing is out here doing something to try to something they enjoy doing. They go out here, teach these kids, coach these kids out here in the heat. Man, it's Texas. Shoot, man, it'd be 105 degrees out here. That's one thing I don't miss about coaching softball and soccer or any outdoor sport is or watching my kids play these sports. Shoot, man, on any given day, like I said, it's 105 degrees outside, and then next week it might be 50 degrees outside. It might be rainy, cold. The weather is what I don't miss about it. I do miss the sport. I do miss the game and watching the kids play and watching them enjoy themselves. But like I said, the weather is something else. But like I said, you don't get paid for this. It take up a lot of time when you're coaching. It take up a lot of time. Not just when you're on the field, but also when you get home and you're trying to come up with schemes, see what else you can teach in the next practice to get the kids better so they can get out there and try to win the next game. And then when that game is over, you try to see what went wrong in that game and how to improve your team's performance during practice for the next game. And you're going to fuss at the kids, you're going to punish them, you're going to make them run, going to make them do push-ups, do extra drills, or whatever you can to try to Do all you can except actually just, choking them, knocking them out, whatever the case may be, committing violence against these children. Do everything you can up to that point that you can do within the confinements of the law. But anyway, you're out there doing your best, and I can remember a time or two where I've had to check myself, had to stop myself before I did something to another coach or another parent because of we out there in front of the kids. Matter of fact, a friend of mine, homeboy of mine who was coaching with me, he had to calm me down a couple of times. And this is when I was new in the game, you know what I'm saying? But things just get me, upset to the point to where I'm used to, reacting. And he, so he's a hothead too, but he calmed me down because he's done this. He have been doing this for years before I started in the coaching. So he knew how to deal with parents and coaches on the other team and stuff, referees too. So that brother helped me out big time because you can get upset. So people have to understand that people are people no matter what situation they're in. But you have to realize realize where you are, who's around you, and what you are there for. And when you're out there coaching and refereeing and watching your kids play, you're there for the children. Not there, and the kids are there. You're there for the kids, so the kids, maybe one day, who knows, can get scholarships. A lot of people out there, out there with their kids for scholarships, trying to get the kids better. So, high school, college, because they know people ain't got the money for this college. Who knows? Maybe can go pro. I don't know, but there's different reasons why people are out here, out here on this field. But anyway, when bad calls are made, when you feel that your child is not getting enough playing time, there are ways to handle this. And that's one thing I remember is when we had these coaching classes, they would tell us, how to handle parents, how to handle bad calls, with referees, how, parents will get mad because, the child's not getting enough playing time. Like I say, my homeboy would told me from the jump, they say they're going to feel that the child should be playing a certain position, should be getting more time than this other player because other player ain't doing nothing. They don't understand that in practice their child wasn't doing, couldn't execute a play. No matter how many times we practiced the drill, but this child could. Even though their child might be more athletic, this child understood more, wasn't as hard-headed, didn't talk back, didn't act like they was just the shiznit because they mama make them believe that when they at home, talking all that noise about how sorry the team is and the team wouldn't be nothing without their kid, blah, blah, blah. But don't realize that in practice, your kid ain't doing nothing. But if you stay at practice and watch your child, instead of dropping them off like this is daycare and run off and go and doing what God knows what with God knows who, you will see what I see. And then maybe if you would, after this practice that we only got a day or two of doing this because of rules and regulations, maybe if you take your child out there and practice, throw the ball with them, catch or something for like 15 minutes a day, go over what we've taught them, maybe your child will be a little better and be able to get more playing time, during the games. But anyway, with that being said, dealing with irate parents is like the worst thing. This is one reason why, like my homeboy, when we started coaching, when I started coaching, he told me, he said, I'll do it with you on the one condition. He said, as long as you deal with the parents, he said, I'll deal with the kids. He said, I'm with you. I'm like, oh, okay, I can deal with that. But then as the seasons went on, games went on, I understood why he said that. And like I say, after a while, I was like, nah, you stop coaching because of parents and quote unquote fans or family members. Let's just say family members. And that's where the problem is. But with that, I want to get into the story about a coach that was shot and killed a couple of days ago out here in the great state of Texas in Lancaster, which ain't too far from where I live. Matter of fact, I lived in Lancaster for a little while. It's like sitting right outside of Dallas. Coach got shot by a dude who, once I read the story, you probably wouldn't believe who it is. But I got this from CNN today. This is updated. This is the most updated story. It says, suspect accused of shooting a coach during a Dallas area youth football game turns himself in. This is updated today at 2:57 p.m. on Monday, August 15th. CNN said reports of the suspect in the shooting that killed a 43-year-old coach during a weekend youth football game outside Dallas turned himself in Monday. Police said, Yaqub Salik Talib, 39, the brother of former NFL star and Super Bowl winner Aqib Talib, pulled out a gun after the opposing team's coaching staff had a disagreement over officiating during the game on Saturday, and Lancaster police said. Michael Hickman, a grandfather and father of 3 from Lancaster, was killed. Quote, the altercation became physical, leading to the suspect pulling out a firearm and shooting Mr. Hickman multiple times, the Lancaster Police Department said in a statement. After the shooting, the suspect fled the scene in an unidentified vehicle, taking the firearm with him, end quote. Authorities issued a warrant accusing Yaqub Talib of murder, a first-degree felony. The incident remains under investigation, police said. Defense lawyer Clark Birdsall declined to discuss specifics, but asked if his client would claim self-defense. He replied, there will be a defense issue. Mr. Talib regrets the tragic loss of life, but turned himself into the law so he could tell his side of the story, the attorney said. A magistrate is expected to set bail this afternoon, Birdsall said. Cicely Hickman told CNN that her brother was coaching his son's team when the gunfire erupted. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police said he leaves behind a wife, 2 daughters, a son, and 3 grandchildren. Cicely Hickman said, quote, Mike was an amazing husband, son, father, grandfather, brother, friend, and coach. Our family is grieving. Right now, we don't see an end to our grief, the family said in a statement. We miss him immensely. We always will. We will love him forever. Before I keep reading, dude, this is not that serious. A game, and I understand, like I said, people are going to be people. People get emotional. I don't care. People get emotional, man. When they said opposing teams coaching, that means that brother Talib, I'm sorry. He was, I guess it's saying that he was on the other team's coaching staff. So, yeah, it happens, referee makes a call. This team gets upset going after the referee, but the coach may say something that may be going against the kid, may say something against the other team's coaching and how their kid is performing, or something that the player is doing that it may feel is not legal, might be wrong, and then that other coaching staff is going to shout at the first coaching staff, the coach that made a comment. So now those two are going back and forth, and now they hollering and cussing, and they get into a physical altercation, and this dummy goes and pulls out a gun. Now, when I saw the picture of the brother that was killed, he's a pretty big husky guy. And from what I read in the stories, say he liked to box. So he probably could fight. And the brother that shot him, Talib, he don't look like a big dude. So when you got a big husky dude, big strong looking dude, grandfather, so he probably got old man strength. Probably won't hesitate to put them hands on a little man. Little man ran and got a gun. Now, if you run and get a gun, you might as well run to the car and keep going. I mean, why come back and shoot this man in front of these children? And that's the big issue, too. You did this in front of these kids. You got kids that probably, let me read this. Multiple 911 calls from Lancaster Community Park were received just before 9 p.m., police said. They probably had the games late because it's hot outside, right? When authorities arrived at the scene, witnesses said the incident began with a disagreement between coaches and the officiating crew, according to a news release from Lancaster Police. During the disagreement, the opposing coach staff were involved in a physical altercation, and one of the individuals involved in the altercation discharged a firearm, striking one male adult. Yaqub Talib's alleged role in the altercation that preceded the shooting is unclear. There is an active warrant for his arrest. I guess this is like the non-updated part of the story. It's a video from the scene shows a man apparently arguing with referees when several people began fighting on another section of the field. 5 shots ring out and the camera pans to the ground for about 40 seconds. In the video, it cannot be determined who fired the shots. Panic screams can be heard off camera. When the camera refocuses upfield, people are seen tending to someone on the ground as others walk over. CNN continues to work to confirm the authenticity of the video. So again, like I said, people are saying, a call can be made on the field. You're gonna have parents, because in games, especially like I say, if a game is close, and let's say if one team is talking, one not team, but the parents on one side is talking, mad, upset about what's going on the field. Then the parents on the other side, they're going to have something to say about it. And they're going to say something to the other side. And so then, all the while, they're still going to be, the refs, the coach is going to be mad at the refs. But all the while, like I said, so you got 3 parts going at each other. But while the referees are trying, to talk to the coaches and get their stuff straight, here comes the families. And now they got something to say. And they got something they're going, so now they're trying to get involved. And they starting friction and starting problems. And there you go. Now they are fighting in the stands. And so here comes some dude who they don't say if he's a coach or whatever. What role he played in this, in the game or the league. He just shoots the guy. He just shoots the man. It says the suspect's brother, Aqib Talib, is a 5-time Pro Bowl defensive back who was part of the Denver Broncos team that won Super Bowl in 2016. And so it talks about their childhood and, pretty much talk about their childhood, their history, him playing football and stuff like that. But like I say, I saw another article where it said, that the grandfather, like the box. So like I said, he probably had no problem, throwing hands with anybody. But again, the issue is you did this in front of children. The main reason why you're out here is that you did this in front of children. You're supposed to be an example to these kids of how to act when situations do not go your way. You do not fight. You do not pull out guns to kill somebody because of a call on the field or how a game is going. This is not soccer when you got no one here is part of a cartel that owns a soccer team anywhere. Now you look and you see these like the history of like soccer, which is a worldwide sport, and you see where these teams, these players, when they lose, these son guns get killed, family get killed, murdered, kidnapped, ransoms are made, referees getting killed on the field, stuff like that. But again, you're dealing with really illegal, like drug money. But those are adults. What we're talking about here are children, where nobody gets paid. Like I said, everyone is volunteering their time and their energy for the children and for themselves too. You know, shall we do it, try to get accolades or whatever. But they are doing it for the kids, and you go out here and you shoot a man regardless of whatever the reason why. But again, like I say, again, it shouldn't even been a fight. We got a stigma on our people already. That we're violent people. That all we need to do is just shut up and dribble. And stuff like this is the reason why they say these things. You're going to have kids that ain't going to be able to sleep. You're going to have kids who probably are not going to even want to play football anymore. Anytime there's a bad call, you're going to have children who are going to be shell shocked. Some adults too, but probably not so much. But kids who are going to be traumatized, that may need counseling. And you know there's a stigma in our community about counseling, but you ain't got the money. I'm sure he's not gonna put up his money or pay for a counselor to talk to all these children. Some of these kids might look at this stuff and think it's cool because of stuff like the rap music and the society that we live in that promote this kind of violence. And here go a grown man that you're supposed to look up to, who can easily show you like, hey, it was a bad call, talk to the referee, and we move on. Yes, we're going to be upset. We got to learn that things are not going to go our way our entire life. That there are going to be some bad calls. There are going to be some people who get more playing time. There are going to be people who get promoted to a job. You may get fired. You may put your best effort in on a school assignment and barely pass, if that. And you can be upset. You do not rectify or fix the situation with violence, and it definitely does not warrant someone getting shot and killed when tomorrow the world is going to continue to go as planned. But this is, like I say, this is sad for the children. I mean, it's sad for the family because the guy's killed doing something that he enjoyed doing. I mean, people may say, he died doing what he enjoyed doing. Nobody want to die like this. Don't nobody want to die like this. Like I said, over something senseless that could have been avoided, and he could be out there today. That man could be out there today coaching his team, and dealing with people that loved him and people that he loved, and now he's gone because of what? And when the details come out, I'm sure the more details will come out, and Talib's gonna say that big man probably tried to, was fighting him, and so he pulled out a gun. But again, you're not even supposed to have guns in these situations, so he may not have a case anyway, because you brought a firearm to a youth activity, which I'm quite sure they signed some kind of agreement saying that they will not bring firearms to these premises. So you just broke rules. So like I said, he may not have much of a case. He better have a hell of a lawyer, but he probably do because his brother played football, so his brother probably got money. I know a cat who years ago, I think shot a dude because he owed him like $5 or $10 or something like that. And somehow, because his brother, played professional ball and had money with great lawyers, I don't think he got no more than like 5-10 years, if that much. A regular person would have been in jail for life. So yeah, he probably going to get a pretty good attorney. Who knows? He may, he may get a pretty, what you want to call it, like a decent sentence. Now, when I say decent, I mean probably, get less than what everybody else is going to assume that he should get. But hey, that's the way the world works. But again, like I said, this is sad for the family. My prayers and condolences, thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to this family, and like to the kids. Now these kids, parents got another job now. You thought parenting was hard. Now they're gonna have to try to talk to their kids about this situation to make sense of it. Got to make sense of this. But anyway, man, tell me what y'all think. Leave your comments below and share it with the world. And with that being said, I leave y'all in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.